Hey, welcome back to Nights and Weekends with me, Marcus, your host. This week was a very interesting week. So I titled the name of this video, There Is No Off Ramp, because from what I can see here, there is no off ramp. We not necessarily are so politically divided. It's just that in my opinion, and I believe somewhat backed up by the data, the left has moved so far to the left that essentially there's no way for us to talk this out, and I'm going to let your mind go to wherever it goes with that. I hope it doesn't, but it seems like that's going to be the end result. So Ed and Marcus, we got about 4 clips to do today. The first clip I want for you to throw in is about the ICE raids and what happened at that. So throw that in, please.
That. Now to the latest on the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. Federal agents clashing with protesters during an immigration raid at a California farm yesterday. Civilians throwing rocks at military vehicles and agents throwing smoke canisters towards the crowd. And the FBI is now offering a $50,000 reward for information on a person who appeared to shoot at law enforcement, which allegedly happened as agents were raiding a marijuana farm in Camarillo. California Governor Gavin Newsom has called those raids, quote, inhumane. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest.
So as we can see there, we had people throwing rocks. We had people getting into a fight with ICE agents, and all for what? We are going, one, I'm sorry. I know that America officially has no official language, but again, that's overly technical, while in all intents and purposes, we speak English in this country. And that's what that woman should have been speaking, but whatever. As we can see here, they did a raid on a cannabis farm, okay, out in California. And we're going to read here. This is from the New York Post. The Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem confirmed on X 319 unlawful immigrants were apprehended during the raid at the Glass House Farm, and said that law enforcement rescued 14 children from potential forced labor, exploitation, and trafficking. We have people out there essentially rioting, and also shot a ICE agent in the neck to protect this. Okay, their brains are screwed up, and on top of that, the average person on the left is going to say that we're going too far, even though we are not. Now, something else I would want to throw in here. We're going to go here. This is from Columbia, the actual university. We're going to just read this first one. And again, anybody who deals with folks on the left, and I mean like the far left, this rings so true, it's absolutely crazy. American adults who identify as politically liberal have long reported lower levels of happiness and psychological well-being than conservatives, a trend that mental health experts suspect is at least partly explained by liberals' tendency to spend more time worrying about stress-inducing topics like racial injustice, income inequality, which isn't something to be worried about, by the way. Income is always going to be unequal because people are literally set out the box, either by God or by evolution, to be different. Okay, everybody doesn't have the same conscientiousness. Sorry, we just don't. Gun violence and climate change. I'm sorry, Marcus, throw in the clip of the climate change people, okay?
Have you ever felt anxiety around climate change?
Yes.
Anxiety around climate change. Yeah.
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 I try not to think about it like every day.
Something about it just makes me feel so depressed.
Ice is melting. Cities would be underwater.
Actually, yeah. It's like, what's going to happen here?
Check out my video on how to cope with climate change anxiety at Chase Mental Wellness on YouTube. Have you?
The thing that just is so funny to me is that to worry about climate change is like literally the dumbest thing possible. There's nothing that we can pretty much do about it until we come up with a technology that literally takes carbon dioxide out of the air and turns it into graphene or some other substance that we can use to build our society. But for these people to actually worry themselves into some type of mental break, whew, boy, these are the folks who are supposed to build the roads and maintain the society, and they're worried about climate change over the course of 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 800 years to 10,000 years in the future. I hate the curse, but get the fuck out of here. I can't even trust these people. Okay. Then Marcus, throw in clip 2 of Ketanji Brown Jackson. She can't even define what a woman is. This breaks down the ideological split in this country. Throw that in there.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the
biologist.
meaning of the word woman is so unclear and controversial that you can't give me a definition?
So as we can see there, this is a very well-educated woman. She's the betters of us black people. She can't even define what a woman is. What hope does that give for the average person? I actually lost a friend from high school because I told him that a woman is a woman and a man is a man. He unfriended me, which is crazy. He's old enough to understand that that's bullish. So we have people who have no problem with letting illegals into the country. We have a whole segment of people who have high rates of mental illness, and these people vote. We have a political side that can't tell you what a woman is. And then we also are going to hit this chart really quick, okay? This is my bigger point. These charts are going to show you that the left has moved further to the left, and the right has kind of been where it's always been, okay? So we have here, Democrats are increasingly pro-immigration. Now, this is back when, Nights and Weekends guy was, just a young man. I wasn't even a man, But as we can see here, support for that immigrants strengthen our country because of their hard work and talents. Whatever. As we can see here, it was around in the low 30s. Now it's over 80%. The people on the right, it was low 30s and it's probably into the mid 40s, low 40s. It's gone up a little. As we can see here, Democrats' views on the legalization of abortion. Now, this is telling. Legal under any circumstance. Back in the day, back in 1975, it was 19%. Now it is 49%. Okay. Legal. Then we're going to look at illegal in all situations. These are Democrats. About a quarter used to believe that it should be illegal in all circumstances. Fast forward to today, 8%. Okay. Support for gay marriage, you all have won that, okay? The folks on the right support it and the folks on the left support it. Good. Hey, if you want to be married, great. Go ahead and knock yourself out. Satisfaction on gun laws. As we can see here, it used to be 37% were satisfied. Now it's 22%. 58% of folks on the right used to be satisfied. Now it's 69%. Again, we went up by 11. They went down by 15. And we can't even agree on taxation. The perception that income taxes paid are too high by party idea. It used to be 60%. Now it's 39%. Used to be 72%. And then now it's 60% for the folks on the right. Okay. And as we can see here, the folks on the left have lost their belief in God over time too. Partisan trends in religion. It was 65% about for the folks on the right back in 98. It's about 60 something odd percent today. For the folks on the left, it was a mid 60s. Now it's down to 50%. Okay. All of these things are leading up to the fact that the left has moved further to the left. And while we have to deal with these things, we also have men dropping out of the labor force. Okay. So a growing number of men in their prime working ages, 25 to 54, are dropping out of the labor force. 10%. That's crazy. 10%. 6.8 million men nationwide are not looking for employment, and they are not working, and they're not in college either. We have to deal with all of that. But the biggest off-ramp, the biggest change that I see that has been going on here that is crazy, Marcus, throw in the clip of Tim Pool talking about this study that I'm about to bring up. Thank you.
From the Post-Millennial, 55% of left-leaning Americans say, I'm not going to read this headline, I can't read it, but they're in favor of hurting the president, we'll put it that way.
Only somewhat.
55% somewhat justified. It's 55 that are somewhat justified or totally justified. They combined it. That's how they got the plurality, or the majority, actually.
You're the bad guys.
Yeah, according to a poll done by the Network Contagion Research Institute, a growing number of people are fine, justifying, or even celebrate political assassination. I think that there's a general lack of purpose. And what's going to happen is the younger generation becoming increasingly radicalized are going to get increasingly violent because there's no path. And it's not so much about opportunity or the American dream. It's about what are we even doing? Someone's going to find a way to fill that with Orange Man Bad or, insert any other ideology. And then I think we're going to see young people in 10 years be espousing their violent rhetoric and ideologies to younger generations. Gen Alpha is going to be getting older. And then, bad stuff happens.
So as we can see here, now this is from the Daily Wire, but before you get your panties up in a bunch, this wasn't a poll ran by them. This was a poll ran by the Network of Contagion Research Institute. We're going to go right here. The report states 55% of respondents who viewed themselves as left of center said the deletion of Trump could be somewhat justified. 48% said the same of Elon Musk. Okay. Among the respondents, 38% said it would be somewhat justified if Trump were deleted, while 31% said the same about Musk. I'm going to put this up there just for craps and giggles. We as a people have to deal with people being more than okay with violence for political ends. And we live in the same country, by the way, okay? We have a side that can't tell you what a woman is. We have a side who thinks that they can go and get all the money from the rich people. We have a side that is absolutely up in arms over climate change, even though there's nothing that we can do about it unless you're willing to give up your 2 air conditioners, unless you're willing to give up your bullshit mocha latte as you go down to Starbucks and you type away furiously on your Apple computer. Unless you're willing to give that up, I don't want to hear shit about climate change at all, because it's absolutely BS. We have a side that thinks that it's okay to bring in illegals into the country. We also have a side that thinks we shouldn't even, hell, this is an illegitimate country to begin with. And we have all of that to deal with while this number right here, let me click on this, see, I'm all messed up. We have that while this number right here is going way up. Now, the reason I say that there's no off-ramp, we can't even get a basis to agree on reality, okay? We literally have people who haven't read the 14th Amendment try to tell me that it means that any and everybody is a citizen as soon as you're born in this country, which that's not what it says. It just doesn't. Go and fucking read it, okay? They can't tell you what a woman is. They think that climate change is an existential, which means life as you know it is over. It means human beings are gone, okay? And they think that political violence is A-okay if it gets these people out of office. And you know what, Marcus? Throw in some clips of what was going on during 2020 with the George Floyd riots, okay? Bring in the fiery but mostly peaceful clip.
Christine and Laura, what you're seeing behind me is one of multiple locations that have been burning in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
We also have the adults as Adam. You know what? I'm going to let Adam Carolla end up finishing this off. But we also have essentially the media, the academics, Hollywood, some of your parents who know better and just have abdicated their responsibility to trying to tell the younger generation to sit down, chill out, everything's going to be okay, hopefully. But on the other hand, they have told them, hell, you know what? This is an illegitimate country. Go pick up arms. So there is no off-ramp. And you can decide to do whatever that you're going to do. All right. I will see you in a week. Bye. Adam Carolla, take us out of here, please. Bye.
We're talking a lot about the kids, and I think they're just that, kids. We are the adults, and I don't think we are doing the children. I mean, these are 18 and 19-year-old kids that are at these college campuses. They grew up dipped in Purell, playing soccer games where they never kept score and watching Wah Wah Wubsy. And we're asking them to be mature. We need the adults to start being the adults.